And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm super pumped about this right here. Shout out to Paulie for making this happen, WFAN, and the Devils for making this happen. On the line right now is none other than the man himself, PK Subaan. What's up, PK?
I'm doing great, man. Listen, thank you for having me, and congratulations on the show. This is awesome. Very, very happy for you.
Thanks, man. Taurus gang. I looked you up. I read up on you. We're both May babies. I'm a year older
Let's
than you
go.
and a couple days.
Let's go. Let's go. When's your birthday?
May 1st.
Wow. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. I'm the 13th, so I love it, man. I love my Taurus family, so we get
Awesome.
along great.
You and I got that in common, and we're both Jersey guys. I live in Jersey. I assume you live in Jersey, not too far from the Rock. How do you like it living in the Garden State?
You know what? I lived in Jersey for 2 years. So the first 2 years with the team, I lived in Short Hills.
Okay.
I loved it, man. I loved it. Honestly, it was great. Milburn,
Yep.
Milburn Deli. I walked down to Milburn Deli almost every weekend on Sunday, especially right before football. I walk down and get one of the best sandwiches I've ever had from Milburn Deli. And also during the pandemic, it was really nice to have a house, because, we kind of were just accustomed to just being at home. And for a lot of my teammates who maybe had condos and apartments, not a lot of breathing space. And with COVID, you just kind of don't even really want to leave your place. So I had a more than big enough house in New Jersey, and I was very, very happy with that. Obviously, I was engaged when I first got to New Jersey, so to go through my separation, I still was at the house, and I had a ton of room, so it was nice to be there, having deer on the lawn every morning, and foxes and different things coming through my backyard. It was really, really cool, and I had no idea that New Jersey was so green.
Yep.
Being from Canada, growing up in Canada, I just had no idea. It's really a beautiful place, and a great place to live. And this year I decided to move into the city, so I live in Tribeca now, and that's awesome. But I definitely miss living in Milburn, man. On the weekends for sure, when I want to just chill out, I wish I had Milburn Deli just down the road.
Nice, man. Well, you're not far from the station at WFAN. We're over here on Hudson Street. We're in the same area, so we might have to get you to come into the station another time.
Well, I ain't going to give up my address, but I can tell you that Hudson is I'm right in that area there. Like Hudson, I'm right there.
In the off
right
season,
there.
I'll have to get you into the station for an interview. We'll meet in person.
You know what? Let's try to make it happen, man. I'm down.
Awesome. Well, follow me here. This is going to be long-winded, but it will end in a question. So I just became a fan of the Devils. I just went to my first Devils game on January 22nd, and, man, it was amazing. They rolled out the red carpet for me. They put me on the Zamboni. They had me in the owner's box right up on the glass on the ice, and they hooked me. I'm a fan now. I've been paying attention. I'm trying to get my knowledge up, and I started following the Devils, and right after I followed the Devils, the next day I stumbled upon the story with your brother Jordan, and I'm not going to get too far into that. But for me, as a new fan, a young black man coming into the Devils organization and declaring my fandom, I was a little disappointed to see what happened, but I could feel your pain, your brother's pain. I watched you speak on it, and I could relate to it. And the question that I want to ask for you is, speak on not that incident, not that moment, but speak on what it's like, maybe your challenges you faced, your brother Chase coming up, blazing this trail, being a young black man in this sport as we're trying to grow this game and, get more black people interested into the sport and all minorities, all people interested in the sport. But speak on your experience, being a player, being a black man in the NHL and some of the challenges that you might have faced coming up.
Well, first and foremost, and you're a new fan to the game, I think that you'll agree with me when I say that when incidents that happen, like what happened with my brother, when those aren't called to the forefront and discussed, we lose fans in our game. we lose fans. I think that people from different backgrounds, specifically the minorities, because we know these things happen in all walks of life, right? They happen in every workspace. They happen in every sport, not just hockey. They happen, they happen almost every day. So what's a real deterrent for a fan is to see these things happen and people to allow it to happen and make sure it's okay. I don't know about you. If I had a child who wanted to play sports and, I was becoming a new fan of a sport and I saw something like that happen and I didn't like the way that it was dealt with, I may be inclined to not have my children want to play that sport or watch it or support it. So, me being able to speak out on things other than just the incident with my brother is much bigger than just the incident itself or myself, or the ability just to get in front of a microphone and give a soundbite. It's about our game and the growth of our game. So, there was an opportunity to speak in a way that hopefully brought people together. And, I felt inclined to do that. Obviously, it was a personal thing for me with it involving my brother. But I also am so optimistic about not only that situation, but other situations that I've seen, that I've commented on or been privy to, and how they've been able to kind of turn into really good positives for our game. And at multiple levels, not just the NHL level. So I'm very optimistic about our game moving forward. But, yeah, these experiences, I've seen them. I've experienced them myself. I have friends who have experienced them, teammates who have experienced them. But this is just a part of life. And really, it's not, the NHL gives such an amazing platform. And sometimes that's difficult. When you have such a big platform, you have so many people. And as you grow the game, you're going to have people that come from different places and have different political views, different religious views, all of those things. And sometimes those incidences fall on the shield. Well, our job is to protect the shield, but not only that, is to make our game better and to continue to see our game evolve. And when I think back of all the things that I've experienced or I've watched other people go through, I think about how can we now turn those incidences into positives for our game moving forward. And I'm just trying to do that, man.
And you are. And thank you for that. I mean, for me, like I said, as a new hockey fan, seeing that, I was discouraged. But what I was inspired by was how many people in the hockey world had your back, specifically how the Devils had your back. And on a lighter note, when you spoke, man, you were fresh. You were clean. Where's the style come from? Where's the swag come from?
You know what? It's funny because I was going out to Florida for our break. We had a little all-star break, and I was going out to Florida. And whenever I go out there, not to name drop, but it actually it relates to this specific situation. Every time I go out to Florida, I always hit up Lil Wayne. And Lil Wayne is obviously, he's one of my favorite artists. I think he's one of the greatest artists ever, but he's one of my favorite. And he's just a special individual. But if you know Lil Wayne, you know he's a huge sports fan. So I got to meet him a couple years ago when I was in Florida. And now every time I go back, I always reach out to him just to see if he's in town. And he wasn't in town. He was actually in L.A. I think he was getting ready for some of the stuff that was happening around Super Bowl, et cetera. But the first thing he said to me was, dude, I saw that interview that you did, and I'm trying to get that jacket. Where did you get that jacket from? So I'm like, if Lil Wayne thought the jacket was hot, I said, I must have picked the right one. The style, I have to be honest, it comes from my sister. My sister, Natasha, I got to give her a shout out and some credit because Natasha and I are very artistic. She paints. I used to sketch. But she's very, very, very artistic. And she actually went to Italy on a scholarship for art. She was there, lived in Italy, Florence, for about 4 or 5 years. And one of the first things she brought back was, after her first year there, was like sort of a man purse. It was like a satchel bag. And at this point, I was really young. I was like, I don't know if I could wear this satchel bag. Now I got like 4 or 5 of them, you know what I mean? Like, I wear them all the time. But my sisters were always very critical of what I'd be wearing. And as I grew older and, you want to leave the house, you want to look a certain way, you start becoming interested in women and, all that stuff. They always gave me good feedback. So I got to give my sister's credit for a lot of the things that I have in my closet now. But I'm glad you thought I looked good during that interview. Half of it's how you look, man. You know that.
Oh yeah, that's the first thing people see is how you look, how you present yourself. And shout out to the sisters, man. My sister's very artistic, and the influence of having a younger sister on my life has shaped how I am as a man. You know, I just move in a certain way because I've always had a younger sister. That's awesome. I was just thinking about Lil Wayne the other day. I swear I had this thought. I was like, I wonder what age Lil Wayne knew that he was the best rapper alive. You know, he started saying it around the Carter 2, but I wonder when he felt like, okay, I've heard enough rappers, I've seen enough rappers, I'm the best. He's still one of the best. I play cameras every day.
Listen to me. Lil Wayne is very, very much special. And you hear Drake and all these artists that were signing Young Money that know that they probably wouldn't have maybe everything that they have now or anything at all without Lil Wayne and what he's been able to do. And, you know, one of the cool things that I took from meeting him was him talking about writing his own music.
Yep.
You know, like that is a big thing. He is a special, special man. He's a special individual. He's extremely smart, articulate. And I just love sitting and talking sports with him. He's a very interesting person, man. And, you know, I wish that everybody got to meet Lil Wayne, but I'm happy I got to meet him. And he's talented, but, you know, his impact on the music industry, you talk to people within it, it's been immense for sure.
Oh yeah. He's a big sports guy. I love Lil Wayne. My cat, her name is Luna, and we call her Luna Tuna, and I just started calling her Toon, like Lil Toonchi.
Lil Toonchi, baby.
All right, let's get back to the sports conversation. We're taking this to Hot 97, but this is WFAN. We have hockey fans listening, Devils fans listening, and I have a question for you about playing at the Rock. You know, my first time being at the Rock was at the game, and I was like, this place is rocking. I love the Ric Flair, the energy the fans had. You know, how are you enjoying the Rock? You've been there a couple years. I know you can compare it to some other places you've played, some other places that you've been, but how's the energy there in that arena?
You know what? I don't really like to compare because authenticity is everything to me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't try to be someone I'm not. The New Jersey Devils don't try to be any other team. They try to be the New Jersey Devils. And you know, playing at the Rock is different than playing anywhere else. It's a New Jersey's blue collar. You know what I mean? So people come to the game, they're paying their money to watch, and you have to leave it all out on the ice. But I got to give them credit. It is a fun building to play in. And it's so interesting because for so many years, almost 10 years, I was a visitor coming to play at the Prudential Center. Mm-hmm. And, you know, now when I think back to all the times that I played there, like, I don't even recognize the arena. I see it so different now that I'm on the other side.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's the perspective of buildings and how you see it and how you feel the energy is so different based on what side of the red line you're on. You know what I mean? And but I can tell you this, since I've been there, you know, we've had a young team. Obviously, we're a team that's trying to get into the playoffs, that wants to be a competitive team. But we've had a lot of fun playing in our building, and specifically for me, being a New Jersey Devil, you know, I played 6 years in Montreal, played another 3 years in Nashville, and those are very, very special years. My time in New Jersey has been a lot of fun with this group and this organization. They've been first class. They've been a first-class organization all the way from the ownership down, and I'm excited to know that in my time being in this league, I've played for some great organizations, and New Jersey's definitely, you know, close to the top, if not the top of the list so far.
I'm glad you said that your, like, perspective changed, because I've been fighting this weird perception of New Jersey forever in New York, because New York is big brother. They want to act like New Jersey is secondary, like we're lesser than. I'm like, no, New Jersey is great, and this is our city too. So I'm glad you said that. But let's talk more now about the Clubhouse. I feel like you're one of the leaders of the Clubhouse. You're a veteran. You're like the backbone of the team. And as I'm coming in to learning about the Devils and learning more about the guys, I keep hearing a lot about the youth movement, like Nico and Jack, and How has it been for you leading those guys and seeing those guys develop and mature? And how is it in the clubhouse with the team this year?
Well, for fans listening, I mean, I could say a lot of things about them as players and what they do on the ice and the expectations of those guys. But I think that with social media and all the resources that we have today, I think people can kind of look that up and get all that information themselves. You know, what I'll say about our group, and specifically to those individuals, whether it's Jack, Ty, Nico, Bratter, Jimmy, Ty, Smitty, Blackwood, all these young players, Coops, Boquist, I go around the room, all these young guys, and even some of the guys in the middle of the pack, like Seeks, our group, I love these guys. I love these guys. I love them like they're my own family, like they're my own brothers. And, I honestly, usually when you say something like that about your teammates wouldn't know that. You feel that way about them. But I think they do know that I feel that way about them. And we're a very tight group. We're a very tight group. And I it's been such a cool experience for me to be one of the oldest guys in the locker room, because for my whole career, I've felt that I've always been one of the younger guys. And to be one of the older guys in the locker room and be able to see these kids come to the rink every day and you trying to have the best influence that you can on them, being able to spend time with them, that's the coolest part. Is I spend quite a bit of time away from the rink with these guys on the road, even in New York when I'm at home, especially now being single. It's been a lot easier for me to actually free up myself to spend time with these guys. And we have a great time. I love these guys. I love them. They're great kids. And I want to see them play a long time in the league and have fun and be successful. And all I'm trying to do is, lend an ear when they need it. These guys are destined for greatness already. Whatever small part I can play in helping them get there faster, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, man, I'm sure they look up to you. I'm sure they've already learned a ton from you. You're a star, and you're one of the biggest names out there in hockey. And speaking of being a star, I haven't gotten around to seeing the movie yet, but you recently made an appearance in the new Jackass movie.
Correct. And it's just funny every time I hear that, because it's like I have to think of myself as a jackass because I was in the movie. So I feel like, what I feel like? Like a lot of my friends and even people that may not be as fond of me because they might be a fan of the Rangers or a fan of the Bruins or maybe a fan of the team that I've had rivalries with, they love talking about me and Jackass in the same sentence. So I think people are having a lot of fun with it. But you know what? It was a really cool experience. I mean, I don't think of myself as Hollywood by any means, but to have an opportunity to be in something, a movie that has been popular throughout my time and era, growing up and playing sports, and as a kid growing up being in high school, and every time one of those movies came out, you had to go and watch it. So to be able to play a role in that has been fun, and I think it's been a cool experience for my teammates too, who are just starting to have a teammate that's in a movie, so it's been cool. We've definitely had a lot of fun with it. Believe it or not, this is going to shock you. I have not seen the movie yet. So I don't even know what my part was. I have not seen it yet.
I haven't seen it, but my friend AJ was basically telling me what happened in it. And I won't spoil it for those listening that haven't seen it, but pretty good description of what went down from AJ.
This is a good opportunity. I'm waiting to take, I don't know how I'm going to see it. Do I go see it by myself? I mean, I don't know if you can really take a date to the movies to go watch yourself in a movie. I think that's kind of corny. So, I can't really take anybody on a date. Maybe I gotta round up a couple of the boys and we got to go and watch it on like a day off or something. I think that might be how it goes down.
Definitely. All right, man. Last question for you. I'm going to let you go. I want you to get back to it, but you have a children's hospital named after you in Montreal, and I just wanted you to speak to your motivation, what inspires you to give back to your community, and what other things are you working on right now for the fans listening?
First of all, with the hospitals is a big part of not only what I do every day, but my family. My parents, my mom raised 5 kids. My dad's a principal, has been a principal for over 45 years. Both my sisters are teachers. My sister's husband's a teacher. So there's a history in our family with working with children, and I think that the foundation has been consistent with that, with my family. I think that you may even see my brothers get involved. The foundation may evolve into something bigger than even what it is right now. And really, it already is. It already is something bigger than just me. You know, I started it, and it is the PK Subaan Foundation, but in terms of the reach that it has, it really surpasses what I can do only by myself. So I'm very happy about that. You know, to see the program with the Blue Line Buddies that we started in Nashville, bringing underprivileged youth and leaders in our community, whether it's law enforcement, teachers, medical workers, bringing them all together and creating a space where they can be celebrated and we can create a difference. My hope for that program is to bring it full circle where we can create internship opportunities and scholarships and you know, all kinds of really cool things. So, you know, right now it's an experience, and that's important to create experiences for people, but we want to create opportunities as well, and opportunities so that we can see people like yourself that get to have their own show and do different things that may not have had that opportunity before. So I look forward to the future for sure. But for me, doing all of that stuff is really just about the platform that I've been given and that I have, and I have the ability to do that stuff. So why wouldn't you want to make a difference if you can? You know, there's so many people out there that want to make a difference that don't have the platform that I have or don't have that reach. So I'm trying to use it to the best of my ability, and hopefully I've done that so far.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you so much, PK. You're an inspiration, man. You're just a cool dude. I hope to meet you one day. I think I'll definitely be watching you tomorrow, but I think I'm going to try and make it out Monday to the Black History Month celebration at The Rock for the Devils game, and maybe we can link up in the offseason and meet. We're not far from each other. Maybe we can catch a Yankee game or a Nets game or something like that.
Hey, sounds good, man. Sounds good. We'll definitely be in touch, and I look forward to meeting for sure, man.